Look, I already know why you're here, guys. This mask gives me powers like that, and that's why I wear it. But with that being said, if you're a Miami Heat fan or a LeBron guy, 2013 is still an open wound. You still look at the 2013 Defensive Player of the Year voting, and you think you witnessed an absolute unpunished robbery that needs to be rectified. LeBron James was at the peak of his absolute athletic powers. He was chasing down board-certified NBA players from the opposite baseline, flying around like a free safety, guarding 1 through 5, and sitting on the throne as the undisputed best player on the planet. And who got the award? A doughy Spaniard from Memphis who averaged, and I need you to brace yourselves, guys, 1.7 blocks and less than a steal a game. On paper, it looks like a joke, right? LeBron got 18 first place votes. Marc Gasol got 30. LeBron was so hot about it, he's still bringing it up in interviews 13 years later. And he's saying things like, that's the one award that he doesn't have on his mantle, and how Marc Gasol stole it from him. But let me hit you with the uncomfortable truth right now off the bat. Listen to me carefully. The voters got it right. In fact, not only did Marc Gasol deserve that trophy, but the idea that LeBron was robbed is one of the most overblown highlight brain narratives in modern basketball history. Today we're tearing down the 2013 DPOY myth. We're digging into the film and the team defense and the advanced metrics that prove why Marc Gasol wasn't just a worthy winner. He was an engine of an absolute elite defensive architecture that LeBron's Heat couldn't touch. Grab a drink, let's talk hoops, and as always, I'm JK, and I'm about to break it down. Before we get to the atomic bomb of this argument, let's clear the air right now. LeBron James didn't lose DPOY because of media bias. He lost it because the highlight reel tricked you into thinking flash equals impact. Let's be honest about how we evaluate defense. Humans love violent highlights. We love chase down blocks off the glass. We love a guy trapping at half court, slapping the ball away, and dunking it on the other end. That was Miami LeBron. He was an apex predator operating in Eric Spoelstra's high-octane blitz scheme. When it worked, it was terrifying. But you know what highlight tapes don't show you? They don't show you 15 possessions a game where LeBron took a play off on the weak side to conserve energy for offensive engine duties. They don't show you Miami's scheme bleeding open corner threes because their aggressive trapping gamble got beat by one simple skip pass. Miami was flashy. Memphis was a meat grinder. Now, Heat fans love to bring up the famous anomaly. How was Gasol DPOY if he was named to an all-defensive second team while LeBron was first team? They treat this like a slam dunk court exhibit. But if you actually understand how the voting worked back then, coaches voted for all defensive teams, media voted for DPOY. It tells a completely different story. The coaches voted Tyson Chandler and Joakim Noah into a tie for first team center, pushing Gasol to the second team by 1 point. And why did the coaches split those votes? Because Gasol didn't compile traditional stats. He didn't chase blocks. Swatting the ball out of bounds gives the opponent the ball back. Marc Gasol just redirected shots, collected the defensive glass, and snuffed out plays 3 passes before they happened. LeBron was playing safety, gambling for turnovers. Marc Gasol was playing grandmaster chess, dictating where all 9 other players on the court were even allowed to stand, guys. Alright, time for total nuclear domination. Here's the single hardest take possibly of the entire video, and the number one reason why LeBron fans need to quietly close their argument books. I'm going to say it slow. You ready? You cannot be the defensive player of the year when your team ranks 9th in defensive rating, while the guy who won it was the lone anchor of the 2nd best defense in the league. Listen to that again. The 2012-13 Miami Heat were the 9th ranked defense in the NBA. 102.9 defensive rating. 9th, guys. Since when do we hand out the highest individual defensive honor in basketball to a guy anchoring the 9th best defense in the league? The 2012-13 Memphis Grizzlies, meanwhile, were an absolute wall. They allowed a league-leading 89.3 points per game. Their defensive rating was 99.1, nearly 4 full points better than Miami. In modern NBA terms, that's the difference between an elite defense and an average one. But Marc had Tony Allen, you scream at your monitor. Sure, Marc had Tony Allen on the wing, and LeBron James had Shane Battier, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. 3 elite, highly intelligent defensive communicators. Let's look at what the advanced metrics say when you strip away the teammates. Defensive box plus minus. Marc Gasol led the league at 3.1. Sorry. LeBron was back at 2.4. Defensive win shares. Gasol racked up 5.4 defensive win shares. LeBron had 4.7. Opponents shooting at the rim. When Marc Gasol was on the floor, opponents shot just 46.8% at the rim, one of the lowest marks in the tracking era at the time. Gasol didn't need to jump high enough to pop a hole in the ceiling. His sheer positioning, vertically and elite lower body strength, turned the paint into a no-fly zone. The Grizzlies' entire identity, grit and grind, was built around Gasol's brain. He called out every pick and roll coverage before the guard even made eye contact with the screener. He dropped back, walled off the drive, covered for Zach Randolph's slow feet, and contested without fouling. LeBron was incredible as a roaming disruptor, but Marc Gasol was a walking, breathing 99.1 team defense. And like Marc Gasol redirecting a shot, I want you guys to redirect your attention to the like button. Be sure to hit it, and while you're there, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss an upload. Thank you guys. Let's get back into this video. The last line of defense for LeBron apologists is always, but LeBron guarded 1 through 5. Marc Gasol could never guard a point guard. First of all, stop it. Just stop it. You're sounding ridiculous. LeBron did not guard 1 through 5 for 36 minutes a night. He guarded primary wing players, drifted off non-shooters, and spent key 2-minute crunch time stretches switching on to dynamic guards like Tony Parker. Don't get me wrong, that's elite versatility and it deserves praise. But versatility is not the same thing as rim protection. In basketball geometry, A center who shuts down the paint impacts 80% of the opponent's possessions. A perimeter guy who switches onto a guard impacts maybe 20% of those possessions directly. Gasol didn't need to guard point guards on the perimeter because whose positioning prevented those guards from ever getting into the lane in the first place. When Derrick Rose or Tony Parker drove against Memphis, they didn't see open air. They saw a 6'11" wall of meat waiting on the dotted line, forcing them into contested mid-range floaters. To give LeBron DPOY over Gasol in 2013 would have meant rewarding narrative over actual defensive efficiency. It would have meant saying, we care more about LeBron's 5'6" chase down blocks on SportsCenter than we do about Memphis holding teams under 90 points a night. Look, members of the 4 and 6 Kingdom, I know you guys think that LeBron James should win every single award imaginable just for breathing on a basketball court. But for one season, Marc Gasol was simply the greatest defender in the NBA. No amount of revisionist tears from LeBron James fans is going to change that. The statistical record from the 2012-13 season isn't open for debate, guys. Memphis held the league's second best defensive rating at 99.1 and allowed a ridiculously low 89.3 points per game. Miami, they were sitting down at 9th. Marc Gasol topped LeBron in defensive box plus minus, plus 3.1 to plus 2.4. Defensive win shares, 5.4 to 4.7. And rim protection efficiency, holding opponents to just 46.8% at the cup. Look, I get it. Individual chase down blocks look great on Instagram edits, but they don't outweigh the entire season of elite anchor level paint defense. The voters actually looked at the tape and the map instead of just watching SportsCenter's top 10. And Gasol walked away with the hardware he earned. If you're losing sleep over a 10-plus-year-old voting ballot, go ahead and vent in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. I'm JK, and I just broke it down. Thank you guys.